What if I told you that the last thing you imagine before closing your eyes at night isn't just a random thought, but a blueprint for your tomorrow, a secret portal into the life you say you want, but may not be consciously designing yet? Every night, without knowing it, you're stepping into the most powerful creative moment of your entire day. And most people, they waste it, scrolling, worrying, rehashing the day, replaying fears, all the while feeding tomorrow with the very energy they don't want more of. But not you, not after what you're about to learn. Neville Goddard called it SATS, state akin to sleep. It's that gentle, drowsy edge where the mind is open, where logic relaxes, and the subconscious, like a sponge, absorbs everything. This is not wishful thinking. This is neuroplasticity, vibration, faith, and science all woven together. What you feel as real in SATS manifests. Now let me ask you something serious. What have you been imagining right before falling asleep? Are you imagining what you fear or what you desire? Because here's the hard truth most never tell you. Whatever you're feeling is true in that sleepy moment. You're planting, and what you plant grows. Before we dive deeper, listen closely. If you're truly ready to master SATS and reprogram your subconscious to manifest your highest potential, then do two things right now. First, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss a single manifestation technique we release. These videos are designed to rewire your mindset and your life, step by step. Second, share this video with one friend. Yes, one. Someone who talks about wanting more abundance, more peace, more purpose, but doesn't know where to start. Be the person who plants this truth into their life. Because what you're about to learn could be the very thing that changes both your futures. Now, let's keep going. Imagine this. Every night before bed, a woman closes her eyes and gently imagines receiving a call, a dream job offer. She doesn't force it. She simply feels the joy. Hears the words, "We'd love to have you join our team," and drifts off to sleep with that feeling as her final impression of the day. 3 weeks later, out of nowhere, a company she never applied to finds her. This isn't a fantasy. This is the power of SATS in action. See, when you're in that twilight state, your conscious resistance disappears. That little voice that says, "It's impossible," it shuts up. And the subconscious? It begins to accept your imagined experience as fact. It starts reshaping your perception, your energy, and ultimately, your reality. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you believe to be real, especially when your brain is between waking and sleep. So here's what SATS is. At its core, it's your final nightly broadcast to the universe. And whether you send it intentionally or not, it's being received. Which means, tonight, you get to choose what kind of tomorrow you're broadcasting. So how do you do it? Let me walk you through the 3 essential steps of SATS, the exact technique Neville Goddard taught that people across the world use to manifest love, wealth, healing, even miraculous outcomes. Step 1. Enter the drowsy state. This isn't about meditation. It's about that soft, comfortable, almost asleep space where your body is relaxed, but your mind is still aware. You might get there lying in bed with the lights off, or after a warm shower, or by listening to soft music or binaural beats. What matters is, you feel calm, open, and ready to receive. Step 2. Create a short imaginal scene. Don't overcomplicate this. Pick one event that would naturally happen after your desire has already manifested. For example, if your desire is a new home, imagine sitting on your new sofa, smelling fresh paint, holding the keys. Make it vivid, but short. 5 to 10 seconds, looped gently in your mind. Step 3. Feel it as real. This is the secret. You must feel the scene. Not think it, not wish it, but feel it. Feel the satisfaction, the relief, the joy. Then, let yourself fall asleep with that feeling lingering. What happens next? The subconscious mind, with no filter and no resistance, begins its work. It's as if your internal GPS has been reset to that new reality. Most people ignore this moment. They give it away to stress, to social media, to replays of arguments and failures. But you won't anymore. Because you now know that the most powerful manifestation tool you own is already in your pocket. It's your imagination, right before sleep. The moment where dreams become data and data becomes direction. So tonight, will you imagine what you don't want again? Or will you take back control and use SATS to build the life that's already waiting for you? You don't need anything else. No vision boards, no scripting journals, no long meditations, just a scene, a feeling, a night. That's how it begins. You see, the power of SATS isn't just in what you visualize, it's in what you accept. Most people make the mistake of watching their imaginal scene like a movie. They see it, but they don't own it. And that's the missing piece. To truly activate the subconscious through SATS, your scene must feel like a memory, not a wish. Let that sink in. Your mind cannot tell the difference between an actual memory and a fully accepted imaginal act. That's why Olympic athletes visualize crossing the finish line before they even race. That's why public speakers mentally rehearse the applause. Because your subconscious body responds as if it's real. So tonight, before you drift off, don't just imagine the relationship. Imagine remembering it. Not someday, but this happened. Feel the warmth of their hand, the scent on their clothes, the glow of being loved. Then sleep. Now here's a secret. Most manifestation coaches won't tell you. SATS doesn't work because of what you see. SATS works because of what you believe while you're seeing it. Even if your current life looks the complete opposite, you don't need proof. You need faith in feeling. And this is where your imagination becomes a sacred tool. It becomes the rehearsal room for the future. A future your subconscious will seek to match with laser precision. It's not magic. It's mental cause and physical effect. The law is simple. What you impress inwardly must express outwardly. And the final moment before sleep? That's when the door to that inner world swings wide open. There are people right now who've used SATS to heal their bodies, to manifest money they never thought possible, to reconnect with loved ones after years of silence, to escape toxic jobs and find their dream life across the world. And you know what all of them say? It started with just one night, one decision to imagine what I wanted instead of reliving what I hated. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to believe it 100% right away. You just need to feel the possibility long enough to fall asleep with it. That's it. One night, then another. And soon, reality bends. Now, let me answer a question you might be wondering. What if I fall asleep before I finish my imaginal scene? Perfect. That's exactly what should happen. Falling asleep in the state of the wish fulfilled is the goal. The subconscious picks up where your conscious mind left off. It continues the scene, looping it softly, cementing it deeply. But what if my scene doesn't feel vivid? Don't worry. Feeling is more important than clarity. Even a blurred mental image charged with emotion is far more powerful than a crystal clear scene with no heart. How long do I have to do this before I see results? That depends on one thing. Are you emotionally congruent with the end? SATS is not about time. It's about the intensity and acceptance of the scene. Neville himself said, "It's not about repetition, it's about conviction." So even one night of powerful feeling could change your life forever. If you're still watching this, it means something inside you already knows this is true. Maybe you've felt it before. That pull, that moment right before sleep where the veil lifts, and something in your soul whispers, "What you choose right now will echo into your tomorrow." This is your moment to stop waiting for permission, to stop needing validation from the world outside, and instead, create it from within. Tonight, you'll close your eyes differently. You'll choose a new ending to your day. One that feels like love. One that feels like wealth. One that feels like coming home to the life that was always meant for you. And when you wake up tomorrow, you may not see the full change yet, but you'll feel the shift. The energy will start moving. The ideas will flow. People, places, and chances will align. Because your inner world, your true world, has already changed. And reality? Reality is just catching up. Remember this powerful phrase from Neville. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and sleep. That is SATS. That is how you begin. That is how you rewrite your future. One night at a time. But this journey, it's just beginning. Because once you've learned how to fall asleep into your dream, the next question becomes, how do you stay in that state during the day? How do you walk in the world as if it's already yours, when nothing outside has changed yet? How do you protect your manifestation from doubt, fear, and outside noise? Stay with me, because in the next part of this video, I'll reveal the daily techniques that make SATS even more powerful, and how to align every moment of your waking life with the reality you imagined in the dark. What happens when you begin to live as if your wish were already fulfilled, not just during sleep, but throughout the day? That's when you cross into the true mastery of manifestation. That's when SATS becomes more than a nightly ritual. It becomes your identity. Because here's the hidden truth most people miss. Your outer reality doesn't just respond to what you think. It responds to who you're being. If you fall asleep feeling wealthy, but spend the next day worrying about bills, you're canceling the seed before it takes root. If you imagine love at night, but walk through the day doubting your worth, you're uprooting the very energy you planted. SATS plants the seed, but your daily state waters it. And your reactions, your posture, your thoughts as you move through the world, they either nourish your manifestation or poison it. So here's your next move. Once you've imagined the scene at night and fallen asleep in it, you must carry the residue of that feeling into the next day. We're not talking about faking it. We're talking about embodying it, gently but deliberately. Walk slower. Speak with more certainty. Treat every moment as if you're on the other side of the wish being granted. You don't have to prove it to anyone, but you must prove it to your subconscious. Your inner world listens when you act like it's already done. It doesn't need you to hustle. It needs you to feel and trust. Now let me give you a powerful technique to bridge SATS with your waking life. It's called emotional recall. Here's how it works. As you go through your day, pause for 30 seconds. Close your eyes and recall the exact feeling you had during your SATS session the night before. Not the scene, just the emotion, the joy, the relief, the peace, the pride. Breathe it in like perfume. Let it sit in your chest. When you do this a few times a day, You create emotional continuity between night and day. That's the glue. That's what convinces the subconscious that it's real, because you're living it 24/7. And reality? It follows the path of least resistance. Once it sees you've become the version of yourself who has the thing, it rearranges to reflect that. This is what Neville meant when he said, "You rise to the level of your assumption." You must assume it not just in your sleep, but in your stillness, in your coffee break, in your walks, in the way you greet people. Not forced, not theatrical, but with quiet knowing. Because the version of you who already has the life doesn't need to beg. They radiate peace. And that's the paradox. When you finally stop chasing what you want, when you start feeling like you already have it, it finds you faster than you ever imagined. So let's take this deeper. Here's your challenge over the next 3 nights. Night 1. Choose one scene that reflects your deepest desire. Something simple but emotionally rich. Fall asleep in it. Day 1. Practice emotional recall. Even just once, recall the feeling. Night 2. Repeat the same scene. Do not change it. Let the familiarity strengthen the suggestion. Day 2. Recall it again. This time during a moment of stress. Use it to neutralize anxiety and shift states. Night 3. Feel the scene more fully. Add a new sensory detail: sound, smell, texture. Day 3. Start a micro-shift. Dress differently, speak with new confidence, or respond calmly in situations where you used to react. Just one behavior that matches your imagined reality. These small repetitions send powerful signals to your subconscious. This is who I am now. This is my normal. This is safe to receive. And once your subconscious believes it's safe, it stops resisting, it stops blocking, and it starts delivering. Your job is not to chase. Your job is not to beg. Your job is to align. And SATS is your sacred time to realign every single night, not with the version of you that's struggling, but with the version of you who already has it. And if you ever forget, if doubt creeps in, if the old reality feels loud and overwhelming again, close your eyes for just 60 seconds. Return to the scene. Remember the feeling. Fall back into that inner world where it's already done. That's your power. That's your anchor. That's your real reality. You were never meant to force the dream into existence. You were only meant to accept it emotionally, so it could flow into your life without resistance. And SATS. SATS is your open door. It's the final thought before sleep that builds the architecture of your tomorrow. If you only understood how powerful that moment is, you would never again fall asleep angry, or anxious, or replaying scenes you don't want repeated. You'd understand that what you allow into your subconscious during those final minutes is like programming a GPS, and tomorrow is just the map unfolding. So tonight, choose wisely. Don't just collapse into your pillow. Don't scroll until sleep takes over. Don't give away your creative power to worry. Instead, craft your scene. Feel it. Believe it just long enough to drift. And tomorrow? Watch how the world begins to rearrange. But we're only just beginning. Because even deeper than SATS is the secret rhythm your emotions play during the first 5 minutes of your day. Yes, what you do right after waking up is just as critical as what you imagined before falling asleep. It's the mirror, the reinforcement, and the bridge between dimensions. And in the next part of this journey, you'll learn exactly how to lock in your nightly SATS progress with a morning practice so powerful, it will make reality snap into place faster than you thought possible. The first 5 minutes of your day are the mirror of your subconscious. You see, the moment you wake up, your brain is still in a theta-dominant state, similar to when you fall asleep. This is not a coincidence. It's design. Because your subconscious doesn't turn off when you open your eyes. It lingers, it listens, and most importantly, it obeys. So if you roll over and grab your phone, if you scroll through chaos, notifications, and fear, you're pouring doubt into the fresh soil you planted the night before. But if you guard those first 5 minutes like gold, if you reaffirm the emotional state you entered sleep with, your entire day becomes a continuation of the assumed reality. And when you repeat that over and over, you don't just hope anymore. You know. So what should you do in those 5 precious minutes? Simple. You re-enter the scene, not with intensity, but with gratitude. Let your first thoughts be, "Thank you. It is done. This is my new reality. Everything is unfolding in alignment with my imagined end." You don't even have to sit up. You can lay there in bed, eyes half closed, and feel it again. The embrace, the keys to the house, the message of love, the number in your account. Whatever you saw during SATS, remember it as if it happened yesterday. That gentle emotional repetition confirms to your subconscious, this is safe. This is normal. This is mine. Most people live their lives backwards. They let the outer world determine their inner world. They wake up, check what is, and decide how to feel based on that. But you're choosing to do something extraordinary. You're flipping the current. You're letting your internal creation dictate the external result. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he said, "Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live." So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open, don't look for proof. Don't search for signs. Don't measure the gap. Be it. Feel it. Let it saturate your body before your feet touch the floor. That's how you lock it in. Here's a powerful technique you can begin using right away. It's called the mirror activation. Every morning, after your SATS session the night before, walk to a mirror and do this. Look into your own eyes. Not the face, not the hair, just the eyes. Speak from the wish fulfilled. Say out loud what the version of you who has it would say. You did it. I'm proud of you. This is our life now. Smile, not as performance, but as embodiment. Let the gratitude rise up from within, even if it's subtle, even if it feels new. This morning mirror moment reinforces the identity you assumed the night before. It turns your self-image into a self-command. Because remember, your subconscious doesn't respond to facts. It responds to identity. If you see yourself as the person who has it, talk like that person, feel like that person, act like that person, then it must come. It must. The law does not fail. And what happens next is magical. The world begins to respond differently. Not just because you're thinking differently, but because your energetic signature has changed. You'll notice people treat you differently. You'll overhear conversations that feel like answers. You'll get random opportunities that feel designed. You'll be guided, subtly but surely, toward the life that already lives in your imagination. Because you're no longer reacting. You're transmitting. You're now the source. And when you become the source, reality bends to follow you. But this is not a one-time practice. This is a daily recommitment to the version of you who already has it. It's not about visualizing until it gets tiring. It's about falling in love with the feeling until it becomes your new normal, your new baseline, your emotional home. And yes, old doubts might creep in. Old fears might whisper again. But now you know what to do. Return to the scene. Return to the state. Return to the version of you that never had to chase, because they already knew it was theirs. So here's your next layer of daily alignment. We've talked about SATS before bed. We've talked about the 5-minute window after waking up. Now let's talk about mini SATS moments throughout the day. Tiny, powerful checkpoints that reinforce your assumption. Try these. Before eating, imagine that you're eating in your new home or in celebration of your success. While commuting, mentally replay your SATS scene with calm joy. Let it loop like background music. During quiet moments, whisper to yourself, "Thank you. I know it's mine." When fear strikes, use emotional recall. Override doubt with the emotional memory of your imagined end. You're not just manifesting occasionally, you're living it persistently. This is how your identity shifts. This is how the old you dies quietly, and the real you, the fulfilled you, takes the throne. If you could see the version of yourself that already lives in your fulfilled future, you'd fall to your knees in awe. They are not more worthy than you. They are not more deserving. They are not waiting for permission. They simply believed it long enough for the world to catch up. And now, you're doing the same. Every night before sleep. Every morning before the noise. Every silent moment between tasks. You are rehearsing a new reality. Until that reality becomes so normal, so real, so saturated in your body, that it has no choice but to show up in physical form. And now the question is, what will you imagine tonight? What scene will become your new memory? What feeling will you surrender to, right before the dream realm opens? Will it be worry, or will it be the wish fulfilled? Because you're no longer asleep to your power. You know now. You know that what you imagine before you sleep is creating your tomorrow. You've learned how to create in the dark. You've learned how to awaken with alignment. And soon, you'll learn how to lock in your new timeline using one final ingredient that transforms your inner world into permanent outer change. There is one final piece, one that separates those who taste their desires from those who fully live them. It's not more visualization. It's not longer meditations. It's not perfection. It's something far more powerful. Emotional stability in the face of contradiction. Because here's the truth that no one tells you. The moment your new reality begins to crystallize, the old one will try to pull you back. You'll see tests, delays, echoes of your past identity, moments designed to provoke reaction. But don't be fooled. These are not signs of failure. They are the final contractions before birth. They are your opportunity to prove, I don't need outer proof to feel it. I've already seen the end, and I refuse to lower my frequency. And that's the moment you become unstoppable. Because when you remain in the state of the wish fulfilled, even as nothing outside seems to match it, you anchor it. You fasten your new reality to the core of your being, and you show the universe, your subconscious, and all layers of reality. This is my truth now. And then, something breaks, reality shifts, circumstances collapse, paths open, people appear, and the very thing you once had to imagine now knocks at your door. Not because you chased it, but because you held it, because you made it normal inside yourself. So what do you do when doubt creeps in? When the fear feels louder than your faith? You breathe. You close your eyes. You return to your scene. And you say, I remember who I am. I've already seen how this ends. And nothing outside of me has the authority to rewrite it. That's how you disarm doubt. That's how you reclaim the throne of your inner world. You are no longer reacting like a victim. You are responding like a creator. And that makes you dangerous to mediocrity. You are no longer available for the old timeline because you've tasted something deeper. You've felt your true self. And once you feel that, there's no going back. Here is your stabilization ritual, the final piece. Night. Before bed, do SATS, just like we practiced. Feel it real. Morning. In the first 5 minutes after waking, reaffirm it. Mirror activation, embodiment. Midday. Emotional recall. Reconnect to the state at least once, just 30 seconds of alignment. Evening. Gratitude journaling. Write from the version of you who already received the blessing. Not "I wish," but "I'm grateful it's mine." Repeat this for 7 days. No gaps, no apologies, just full alignment. And if you do, you'll notice something. Reality bends, time compresses, and your life starts to look suspiciously like your dreams. It all began with what you imagined before sleep, the moment when your conscious mind quieted, and your inner world took the reins. That single scene you saw, that emotion you felt, that moment of peace, joy, relief. It became the seed of your future, and through persistence, through emotional loyalty, through the refusal to bow to the old reality, you became the version of you who receives it, not in some distant future, but now, because now you understand, what I imagine before sleep creates my tomorrow. And now, you've remembered your power. So before we close this journey together, I want to ask you something powerful. What is the scene you're choosing tonight? What is the emotion you're letting echo through your sleep? What is the version of you that you're finally ready to embody? Completely, unapologetically, and consistently? Because when you decide that, not the world, not your past, not your current circumstances, but you, everything begins to move in your favor. So now I want to hear from you. Comment below and answer this simple but powerful question. What is the one desire you're now ready to imagine before sleep, every single night, until it becomes real? It could be love, it could be freedom, it could be health, wealth, peace, purpose. Whatever it is, own it, write it, declare it. Let this comment section become a field of activated energy, a collective place of belief, resonance, and power. Because when you declare it, you activate it, and when others read it, they amplify it. So go ahead, scroll down, and write it. Tonight, I imagine, and finish the sentence. Let's make this real, together, right now. What you imagine before sleep creates your tomorrow. So what will you choose to imagine tonight? We'll see you in your dreams.